The massive ship of the Terrax Confederacy hung in Earth's orbit like a dark cloud. Inside the command center, Commander Vex studied the blue planet with yellow eyes that showed no emotion. His gray skin reflected the glow of screens around him. "Another primitive world to add to our collection," he said to his officers. The Terrax had already taken over 17 other planets. Their advanced technology made conquest easy. "Show me the report on their fighting abilities again." Lieutenant Draz, tall with broad shoulders and armor that seemed to be part of his body, stepped forward. "Earth has no energy weapons, Commander. No force fields, no space fleet. They fight with simple guns and something they call martial arts." "Martial arts?" Commander Vex asked, his mouth forming what might have been a smile. "Physical combat using only their bodies. They believe it gives them special powers." Draz could not hide his amusement. "They train for years to punch and kick better." The entire command center filled with low, rumbling laughter. To the Terrax, with their powered armor and energy weapons, the idea of hand-to-hand combat seemed like a joke from the past. "I wish to see these martial artists myself," Lieutenant Draz said. "With your permission, I will lead the first meeting. With the humans." Commander Vex nodded. "Granted. Take a small team. Show them enough of our power to make them understand their position. But do not destroy anything yet. I want this planet intact." Meanwhile, on Earth, in the mountains of South Korea, morning mist covered a small temple. The old building stood, among tall trees far from the noise of cities. Here, Master Kim Tae-won sat with his eyes closed, his breathing slow and steady. At 63 years old, his hair was white, but his body remained strong and quick. For 50 years, he had practiced the art of Shaolin Kung Fu, becoming one of the best in the world. The sound of running feet broke his morning meditation. Master Kim opened his eyes to see Park Ji-ho, once his student, and now a high-ranking military officer standing at the temple entrance. Ji-ho was breathing hard from his run up the mountain path. "Master Kim," Ji-ho said with a quick bow, "they are here." "Who is here?" Master Kim asked calmly. "Aliens. Spaceships have entered Earth orbit. The United Nations has called an emergency meeting." Ji-ho paused, looking uncomfortable. "They have asked specifically for you to attend." "Master?" Kim raised his eyebrows. "Me? I am just an old man who teaches fighting. What use would I be at a meeting with beings from space?" "The aliens have requested to see Earth's warriors. The UN believes having our greatest martial arts master present would show respect for their request while keeping the meeting peaceful." Ji-ho offered his hand. "A helicopter is waiting to take you to Seoul, then a plane to New York." Master Kim stood up slowly, his movements smooth despite his age. "Very well. If they wish to see an old man perform kung fu, I will not disappoint them." He walked to a wooden chest and opened it, removing simple white robes. "But I will not pretend to be something I am not. I am a teacher, not a soldier." As the helicopter lifted off later that day, Master Kim looked down at his small temple disappearing into the mist. He had never left Korea before. Now he was flying, to meet creatures from another world. The thought did not disturb his calm. In New York, the United Nations building buzzed with activity. Leaders from every country had gathered, their faces showing fear and hope in equal measure. News of the alien ships had spread worldwide, causing both panic and wonder. President Choi Han-jun of South Korea approached Master Kim when he arrived. "Thank you for coming on such short notice, Master Kim. The aliens will land in 1 hour. They say they come from something called the Terrax Confederacy." "What do they want?" Master Kim asked. President Choi's face darkened. "They have not said directly, but their messages suggest they see us as primitives to be guided, or ruled." Before Master Kim could respond, a young woman in a formal suit joined them. "Master Kim, I am Lee Sun-mi, Korea's UN ambassador. I will be your translator during the meeting." "I speak English," Master Kim said with a small smile. "Of course," Ambassador Lee looked embarrassed. "I forgot you taught in America for several years." A loud noise from outside interrupted them. People rushed to the windows to see a small ship, much different from human aircraft, descending toward the UN building's large courtyard. "They're here," President Choi whispered. The ship landed softly on the grass. Everyone watched as a door opened in its side. 5 figures emerged, each nearly 7 feet tall. Their skin was gray, their eyes large and yellow. They wore what looked like armor that moved with them as if alive. The one in front, clearly the leader, carried no visible weapons but walked with the confidence of someone who needed none. When security personnel formed a nervous line as the aliens approached the building. Master Kim watched from the entrance, his face showing only calm interest. Inside the main assembly hall, world leaders sat in tense silence as the aliens entered. The leader stepped forward to the center of the room. "I am Lieutenant Draz of the Terax Confederacy." His voice boomed, somehow speaking perfect English. "We have studied your world from orbit. We have decided to allow Earth to join our empire. This is an honor. 17 other worlds have already accepted our leadership." Bikyo, UN Secretary General, stood up. "We welcome visitors from the stars, but Earth is an independent planet. We would prefer to discuss friendship and trade, not submission." Lieutenant Draz made a sound like stones grinding together. Master Kim realized it was laughter. "You misunderstand," Draz said. "This is not a negotiation. We are informing you of your future. The only question is whether you join us peacefully or through force." He looked around the room. "We understand you still practice physical combat. We find this amusing but respectful. Before we continue, we wish to see your best warriors demonstrate these martial arts." The room grew silent. Many leaders looked at each other in confusion. This was not what anyone had expected. The Secretary General cleared his throat. "We had hoped for peaceful talks about—" "Show us your warriors," Draz interrupted. "Then we will talk." From his seat near the back, Master Kim stood up. All eyes turned to him as he walked slowly to the center of the room. Next to the towering alien, the old man in white robes looked small and fragile. "I am Kim Tae-wan," he said, his voice quiet but clear. "I am a teacher of Shaolin Kung Fu. If you wish to see our ways of fighting, I can show you." Lieutenant Draz looked down at the human, his yellow eyes blinking slowly. "This is your warrior? An elder with no weapons or armor?" He turned to his companions and they all made the grinding laugh sound again. Master Kim simply bowed and waited. Lieutenant Draz turned back to him. "Very well, human. Tomorrow we will arrange a demonstration. One of my soldiers will show you our combat techniques, and you will show us yours. Then you will understand why resistance is pointless." As the aliens left the hall, worried conversation erupted among the Earth leaders. Ambassador Lee hurried to Master Kim's side. "Master, what are you doing?" she asked. "These beings have technology far beyond ours. This could be dangerous." "Master," Kim smiled gently. "Sometimes the strongest tree is broken by the wind while the flexible grass survives. Let us see if these Terax understand this lesson." The United Nations quickly prepared an open area in Central Park for the demonstration. By morning, a large circle had been marked on the ground with white paint. Thousands of people gathered behind barriers, eager to see the aliens up close. News cameras from every country pointed at the circle, broadcasting to billions worldwide. Master Kim arrived early, wearing the same simple white robes. He sat cross-legged on the grass, eyes closed, breathing slowly. To onlookers, he appeared to be sleeping, but his mind was fully alert, preparing for what would come. At exactly noon, the alien ship appeared overhead. It hovered silently before landing at the edge of the park. Lieutenant Draz emerged with 4 soldiers. Their armor gleamed in the sunlight, shifting colors like oil on water. They walked with heavy steps toward the circle. President Choi and other world leaders watched from a nearby platform. "I hope you know what you're doing," Choi whispered to Ambassador Lee. "It wasn't my idea," she replied, "but Master Kim has never lost a fight in his life." "He's never fought an alien before," Choi said. Master Kim opened his eyes and stood as the aliens approached. Lieutenant Draz stepped into the circle, towering over the old human. "Before we begin," Draz announced loudly so everyone could hear, "I will explain what you are seeing. My soldiers wear Terraflex battle armor, the most advanced combat system in the known galaxy. It enhances strength by 500%, can withstand your strongest weapons, and learns from every movement it sees. The crowd murmured in awe and fear. Master Kim remained silent. For this demonstration, Draz continued, I have selected Soldier Mech, who has only basic training. Even so, he will show you the difference between your primitive fighting and true power. One of the soldiers stepped forward. Even through the armor, his muscles bulged. He stood at least 7 feet tall and moved with surprising speed for his size. Your elder may begin when ready, Draz said with the grinding laugh. We will. Try not to damage him permanently. Ambassador Lee stepped forward. This isn't fair. He's unarmed and it's all right, Master Kim said softly. Please step back. As Lee reluctantly moved away, Master Kim bowed to the alien soldier. I am ready, he said. Without warning, Soldier Mech charged forward with incredible speed. His armored fist swung toward Master Kim's head with enough force to shatter concrete. The crowd gasped, but the fist hit only air. Master Kim had moved just slightly, hardly seeming to move at all. The alien's momentum carried him forward, off balance. Before he could recover, Master Kim's hand shot out, striking precisely at a joint in the alien's armor where the neck met the shoulder. The soldier's left arm went limp. What trick is this? Mech growled, swinging his right arm in a wide arc. Again, Master Kim wasn't there. He flowed around the attack like water around a rock. 3 more precise strikes and the alien collapsed to his knees, his armor flashing with warning lights. The crowd went silent in shock. Then cheers erupted. Lieutenant Draz stepped forward, yellow eyes wide with disbelief. Impossible. Our armor is reinforced with quantum-locked joints. Master Kim bowed again. Every joint, no matter how strong, has a point of weakness. We have studied such things for thousands of years on Earth. Draz activated something on his wrist. His own armor hummed loudly. I will not accept this humiliation. Face me now, human. Master Kim nodded calmly as Draz entered the circle. The alien lieutenant moved even faster than the soldier had, his armor giving him blinding speed. But to the amazement of everyone watching, the old man was never where the attacks landed. Master Kim's movements were simple and efficient. He used the alien's own strength against him, redirecting rather than blocking. He struck only at specific points, joints in the armor, connection points, places where energy flowed. Within minutes, Lieutenant Draz lay on the ground, his advanced armor systems offline. The crowd's cheers were deafening. Master Kim helped the alien to his feet. Your technology is impressive, he said kindly. But true mastery comes from within, not from external power. How? Draz demanded, his voice no longer confident. Our systems analyzed your movements but could not predict them. That is because I do not know what I will do until the moment arrives, Master Kim explained. True Kung Fu is not about following patterns that can be predicted. It is about being fully present in each moment. As the aliens retreated to their ship, the world leaders surrounded Master Kim. Their faces showed new hope. You've given us a chance, President Choi said, gripping the old master's shoulder. But I fear we've also made them angry. Master Kim looked up at the alien ship rising into the sky. Yes, he said quietly. This was only the beginning. Throughout the world, videos of the demonstration spread rapidly. People who had been afraid began to feel pride. If one old man could defeat these aliens, perhaps humanity had more strength than they knew. In orbit, Commander Vex watched the recordings with cold fury. They have embarrassed us, he told his officers. This cannot stand. Prepare the full invasion force. News of Master Kim's victory spread across Earth like wildfire. In homes and offices, on phones and screens, billions watched the old man defeat the alien warriors. Some called it a miracle. Others said it proved that humanity had strength the aliens hadn't expected. Back at the United Nations, emergency meetings continued through the night. Military leaders argued for preparing defenses. Scientists wanted to study the alien technology. Diplomats hoped to find a peaceful solution. Master Kim sat quietly in a corner, sipping tea. His demonstration had bought time, but he knew it was only temporary. Ambassador Lee sat down beside him. The Terrax ship has returned to their main fleet in orbit, she said. Our satellites count at least 20 large vessels. They could attack at any moment. They won't, Master Kim said calmly. How can you be so sure? Because they are proud. I wounded their pride today. Now they will want to restore it properly. He set down his teacup. They will challenge us formally. As if proving his words, the communication system suddenly activated. Commander Vex's face appeared on the large screen, his yellow eyes narrowed with anger. People of Earth, he said, his voice cold. You have shown unexpected skill through your elder warrior. This changes our approach. He paused. The Terrax. Confederacy offers you the combat trial. It is our oldest tradition when meeting worthy opponents. The room fell silent, all eyes on the screen. One champion from your world will face one from ours. If your champion wins, we will recognize Earth as an equal and offer fair treaties. If our champion wins, you will join our empire without further resistance. Commander Vex leaned closer to the screen. Choose wisely. You have 1 day to decide. The screen went dark. Immediately, arguments broke out among the world leaders. We should refuse and prepare for war. We can't fight their technology. Maybe. We should accept their rule. It might be better than destruction. Master Kim stood up. The room gradually fell quiet. I will face their champion, he said simply. President Choi shook his head. Master Kim, you've done enough. This is clearly a trap. Their champion will be much stronger than the warriors you face today. Undoubtedly, Master Kim agreed. But what choice do we have? Our weapons cannot reach their ships. Even if we could, fight them on the ground. Millions would die. He looked around the room at the worried faces. One more match gives us a chance without bloodshed. No one could argue with his logic. As the world leaders reluctantly agreed, Master Kim turned to his former student. Jiho, he said, I need you to bring something from my temple. In the wooden chest under my bed there is a small box wrapped in red silk. Bring it to me before the match tomorrow. Jiho bowed deeply. Yes, Master. I'll leave immediately. That night, while the world waited anxiously, Master Kim sat in the garden of his hotel. Ambassador Lee found him there, staring at the stars. Aren't you going to rest before tomorrow? She asked. I am resting, he replied with a smile. The mind needs quiet more than the body needs sleep. Lee sat beside him. Can I ask you something? How did you defeat their armor? It should have been impossible. Master Kim turned his gaze from the stars to her face. Nothing made by thinking can defeat clear thought. Their armor is programmed to predict and counter attacks. But true Kung Fu isn't about attacking, it's about harmony. You cannot predict harmony because it changes with each moment. But their champion tomorrow will be stronger, Lee said. Yes, Master Kim nodded. Much stronger. Which means I must be much more harmonious. His eyes twinkled with surprising humor. Besides, I have lived a long and good life. If tomorrow is my last day, I have no regrets. Ambassador Lee looked troubled. The whole world is counting on you. No, Master Kim shook his head. The whole world is counting on what I represent, the human spirit that does not surrender to fear. He stood up. Now I think I will sleep, after all. The next morning, a massive crowd gathered at the same location in Central Park. The white circle had been repainted larger. Security forces struggled to keep order as millions tried to get close enough to see. At exactly noon, the Terrax ships appeared in the sky. This time, a much larger vessel descended. When its doors opened, Commander Vex himself emerged, followed by a massive figure that caused the crowd to gasp. The alien champion stood nearly 9 feet tall. His armor was different from what they had seen before. It seemed to flow like liquid, metal with no visible joints or seams. Energy crackled around him as he walked. People of Earth, Commander Vex announced, his voice booming without need of speakers. This is General Krell, undefeated in 17 planetary campaigns. His armor incorporates technology from all worlds we have conquered. It has no weaknesses to exploit. Master Kim stepped forward, still wearing his simple white robes. Jiho stood behind him, holding a small wooden box. "I am ready," Master Kim said. General Krell's voice rumbled like thunder. "Your pressure point tricks won't work on me, human. My armor has no fixed points to strike. It adapts continuously." Master Kim nodded to Jiho, who opened the box and removed something wrapped in faded red silk. He handed it reverently to his master. Master Kim unwrapped the small package, revealing a set of simple metal rings that fit over his fingers. They were ancient training tools passed down through generations of Shaolin masters. "I have not needed these for many years," Master Kim said as he slipped them onto his fingers. "But today calls for all my skill." The two champions faced each other in the circle. Commander Vex raised his hand, then dropped it sharply. "Begin!" General Krell moved with shocking speed for his size. The ground shook with each step as he charged toward Master Kim. His armor rippled and flowed, impossible to predict. The crowd held their breath. Surely the old man would be crushed instantly. Instead, Master Kim moved like wind. Where Krell was force, Master Kim was redirection. Where the alien was complexity, the human was simplicity itself. The metal rings on his fingers flashed in the sunlight as he struck with precision that seemed impossible. "Stand still and fight!" Krell roared, in frustration after minutes of failing to land a single blow. "Fighting is not about standing still," Master Kim replied calmly. "It is about finding balance in movement." As the battle continued, something unexpected happened. Krell's armor began to slow, its adaptive systems overwhelmed by trying to predict the unpredictable. Master Kim wasn't fighting according to any pattern. He was responding to each moment freshly, his 50 years of training allowing him to create rather than follow set moves. The turning point came 15 minutes into the dumb battle. Krell, growing desperate, channeled massive energy through his armor for one overwhelming attack. The air crackled as he lunged forward. Master Kim did not try to avoid this attack. Instead, he met it directly, his metal rings connecting with the alien's armor at precisely the right point. The energy Krell had summoned flowed back through his own systems, creating a feedback loop that the armor couldn't handle. With a sound like thunder, General Krell froze in place, his advanced armor locked in a system failure. Master Kim stepped forward and, with a simple touch to a point at the base of the alien's neck, rendered Krell unconscious. The crowd erupted in cheers that could be heard for miles. Commander Vex stood motionless, his yellow eyes wide with disbelief. "Impossible," he whispered. The defeat of General Krell shocked the entire Terax Confederacy. Never before had their champion lost in combat. The news spread across their fleet, causing confusion and anger. Some officers called for immediate attack, ignoring the terms of the combat trial. Others insisted they must honor their tradition even in defeat. On Earth, celebrations broke out in every city and town. Master Kim had become a global hero overnight, but the old master did not join the parties. He returned to his hotel room, removed the metal rings from his fingers and wrapped them carefully in their silk cloth. "You should be celebrating," Ambassador Lee said when she found him meditating again. "You saved Earth." Master Kim opened his eyes slowly. "Nothing is saved yet. The Terax are still in our skies and they are not happy." His words proved true the next morning when Commander Vex requested another meeting at the United Nations. The alien leader entered the assembly hall with only 2 guards, his manner stiff with controlled anger. "The combat trial has rules that date back thousands of years," Vex announced without greeting. "Earth's champion has won the first match, but our traditions allow for a best-of-3 challenge when a new species shows unexpected skill." "Worried," murmurs filled the hall. President Choi stood up. "This was not mentioned before. We understood one victory would establish Earth as an equal." "That is the usual case," Vex admitted. "But our ancient laws make provision for worthy opponents. You have earned the right to prove yourselves further." His yellow eyes scanned the room until they found Master Kim. "The next match will be different. Not physical combat, but a test of mental discipline and spiritual strength." Master Kim nodded slowly. "I accept." "Wait." The Secretary General interrupted. What exactly is this test? Commander Vex made the grinding sound of Tarak's laughter. The Mind Forge. Two minds connect directly. The stronger will survives, the weaker is broken. He turned back to Master Kim. Many of our own warriors cannot endure it. A primitive human mind will likely be destroyed. President Choi stepped forward. This is not fair. Our agreement was for physical combat only. The combat trial includes tests of body, mind, and spirit, Vex replied coldly. This has always been our way. If you refuse, we consider it forfeit, and Earth becomes part of our empire today. The room fell silent as all eyes turned to Master Kim. The old master stood up slowly. When will this mind forge take place? He asked calmly. Tomorrow at sunrise, Vex said. Our mental champion is already preparing. I suggest you do the same, though it will make little difference. After the aliens left, Earth's leaders gathered around Master Kim. You don't have to do this, President Choi said. We can find another solution. Master Kim smiled gently. What solution? Fight their ships with our weapons? Millions would die. He shook his head. No, this is still the path with least suffering. But a direct mental connection? Ambassador Lee asked. We know nothing about how their minds work. Perhaps that is an advantage, Master Kim replied. They know nothing about how mine works either. He turned to Jiho. I need to prepare. Find me a quiet place where I can meditate until morning. Jiho led his master to a small room in the basement of the UN building, away from the noise and activity above. There, Master Kim sat cross-legged on the floor, closed his eyes, and became completely still. Should we bring you food? Water? Jiho asked. Nothing, Master Kim said without opening his eyes. The mind travels best when the body is light. Hours passed. Outside, the world waited anxiously. Inside his private meditation, Master Kim journeyed through memories of his life, his childhood in the mountains, his years of hard training, the masters who had taught him, the students he had guided. He let each memory arise and pass without attachment, clearing his mind of all burdens. At sunrise, he opened his eyes. Jiho was still there, sitting quietly nearby. It's time, Jiho said. Master Kim nodded and stood up. Together they walked to the main entrance where cars waited to take them back to Central Park. The morning air was cool and clear as they arrived at the site. A new structure had been erected in the center of the white circle, a dome of gleaming metal with two entrances on opposite sides. Commander Vex waited outside. This is the Mind Forge, he explained. Inside, your consciousness will meet that of our champion, Mind Lord Krex. He has broken the will of kings and generals across many worlds. Master Kim looked at the dome with interest. And if I succeed, then there will be a third challenge, the final test. Vex's voice held certainty that they would never reach that point. As Master Kim prepared to enter the dome, Jiho grabbed his arm. Master, is there any advice I can give you for this? The old master smiled. In 50 years of teaching you, now you think you have something to teach me? Jiho bowed his head. I'm sorry, Master, No, you are right to ask. Master, Kim interrupted gently. The student sometimes sees what the teacher has forgotten. He placed his hand on Jiho's shoulder. Remember what I taught you about fear? Fear exists only in thoughts about the future or the past, never in the present moment, Jiho recited. Exactly, Master Kim nodded. And that is my advantage today. Through meditation, I live in the present. These aliens, with all their technology and planning, live in their thoughts. He turned toward the dome. Let us see whose approach is stronger. Inside the dome, a single chair waited in the center. Master Kim sat down as the entrance sealed behind him. The inner walls began to glow with soft blue light. On the opposite side, he assumed, Mind Lord Krex was sitting in a similar chair. A voice spoke from nowhere. The Mind Forge is active. Connection beginning in 3, 2, 1. Suddenly, Master Kim was no longer in the chair. He stood in what seemed to be an endless dark space, with stars twinkling in all directions. Before him was a tall figure, in flowing robes of shifting colors. Its face was hidden in shadows, but its eyes glowed yellow. "Welcome to my domain, human," the figure said, its voice echoing strangely. "I am Mind Lord Krex. Your consciousness is now disconnected from your body and linked to mine. Here I control reality." As if to demonstrate, the starry space around them suddenly changed to a burning landscape. Heat washed over Master Kim, and the ground beneath his feet became hot coals. Pain shot through his body. "This isn't real," Master Kim said calmly, even as his skin blistered from the heat. "It is only thought. In the mind, thought is reality," Krex replied. The scene shifted again, now to a frozen wasteland where bitter cold cut to the bone. "Your primitive meditation may help you endure physical discomfort, but can it withstand the dissolution of self?" The world around them dissolved, and Master Kim felt his own identity beginning to fragment. Memories, feelings, thoughts began to separate from each other, threatening to scatter into the void. But deep in the center of his consciousness, Master Kim held to the pure awareness he had cultivated through decades of meditation. This awareness needed no memories, no thoughts. It simply was observing everything without attachment. "Interesting." Krex's voice seemed to come from everywhere now. "Your mind has a core that resists my influence, but it cannot last." The assault intensified. Master Kim experienced his worst fears, his deepest regrets, his most painful memories all at once. He felt himself dying 1,000 different deaths. He witnessed everyone he loved suffering. The boundaries between himself and Krex began to blur. But through it all, that spark of pure awareness remained untouched. In fact, as the attack continued, this center of consciousness seemed to grow stronger, more defined. Master Kim had spent his life learning that the true self was not thoughts, or feelings or memories, all of which come and go, but the awareness that observes them. Now, as Krex attacked everything else, this essential nature stood revealed. "What is this?" Krex's voice now held confusion. "Why don't you break?" Master Kim did not reply with words. Instead, he let his awareness expand, embracing even the presence of Krex within it. Rather than fighting the alien mind, he welcomed it, included it, accepted it completely. This response was something Krex had never encountered. The Mind Lord had broken opponents through fear, pain, and confusion. But acceptance, inclusion, these were weapons he had no defense against. Now it was Krex who began to lose his sense of self. As Master Kim's awareness encompassed him with neither resistance nor aggression, the Mind Lord's identity, built on separation and control, began to dissolve. "Stop!" Krex cried out. "This is not how the Mind Forge works." "There is no stopping." Master Kim's voice came from everywhere and nowhere. "There is only what is happening now, and now, and now." Outside the dome, the watching crowd grew nervous. As minutes stretched to an hour with no sign from within, Commander Vex paced impatiently. "Something is wrong," he muttered to his guards. The human should have been broken by now. Suddenly, the dome's entrances slid open. From one side, Master Kim emerged, walking steadily, though his face looked tired. From the other side, 2 Tarax guards carried the limp form of Mind Lord Krex. "What happened?" Commander Vex demanded, looking at his mental champion with alarm. "He is not harmed," Master Kim assured him. "He is experiencing something new. He will recover, perhaps wiser than before." The crowd cheered as they realized Master Kim had won again. 2 challenges faced, 2 victories for Earth. Commander Vex's face showed a mixture of disbelief and growing respect. "This is unprecedented," he said quietly. News of Master Kim's second victory spread even faster than the first. Around the world, people who had been preparing for possible invasion now dared to hope for peace. The old master had become more than a hero. He was a symbol of humanity's unexpected strength. At the United Nations, leaders debated what the third challenge might be. Military experts suggested it could be a test of technology or weapons. Spiritual leaders wondered if it might be a moral or ethical test. No one knew, for certain, and the Terrax remained silent for 3 days. Master Kim spent this time resting. The Mind Forge had drained him more than he showed publicly. In his hotel room, he sat by the window, watching the people in the streets below. "You should be proud," Ambassador Lee said when she visited. "You've accomplished what no one thought possible." Master Kim smiled tiredly. "Pride is a heavy weight to carry. I prefer gratitude." "Grateful for what?" "For the chance to use a lifetime of training for something important." He looked out the window again. "All those years of practice, I never imagined they would prepare me for this." On the morning of the 4th day, the Terrax finally made contact, again. This time, they requested a private meeting with Master Kim alone. Despite objections from world leaders, the old master agreed. A small Terrax ship landed on the roof of the UN building. Commander Vex emerged alone and led Master Kim inside. They sat facing each other in a small room with walls that shifted colors like the Terrax armor. "You have surprised us, human," Vex said without preamble. "In 17 conquests, no species has ever won 2 trials. Perhaps you have been fortunate in your opponents until now," Master Kim suggested gently. Vex made a sound that might have been a sigh. "Perhaps. Or perhaps humans possess something unique." He leaned forward. "Mind, Lord Krex has recovered, but he has changed. He speaks of unity and acceptance, concepts not common among the Terrax. He experienced a different way of seeing reality," Master Kim explained. "It can be transformative." "Indeed." Vex studied the old human carefully. "The 3rd trial is normally the challenge of spirit, a test of values and principles. But our council has decided to waive this test." Master Kim raised his eyebrows. "Why?" "Because you have already demonstrated what we seek to measure. Your willingness to risk yourself for your people, your restraint in victory. These show the spirit we respect." Vex's yellow eyes seemed to soften. "The Terrax Confederacy recognizes Earth as an equal. We offer alliance instead of conquest." Master Kim nodded slowly. "This is good news. But why tell only me? Should not Earth's leaders hear this?" "They will," Vex assured him. "But first, I wish to understand something privately." He paused. "What is the source of your strength? Is it unique to you, or do all humans possess it?" Master Kim considered the question carefully. "The techniques I use can be taught. The awareness I cultivate can be developed by anyone willing to practice. But the human spirit, the willingness to stand against impossible odds, to find new ways when old ways fail, that exists in all of us." "Then we have much to learn from each other," Vex said. He stood up. "Come, let us tell your leaders the good news." The announcement of the Terrax decision brought celebrations across Earth. The threat of invasion was replaced by the promise of new knowledge and technology. Commander Vex, speaking to the United Nations General Assembly, formally, recognized Earth as a full and equal partner in the galaxy. "We came seeking subjects," he admitted. "We found equals instead. The combat trial has never been more properly fulfilled." In the days that followed, the first cultural exchanges began between Earth and the Terrax Confederacy. Scientists from both worlds shared knowledge. Terrax technology helped solve some of Earth's biggest problems: clean energy, disease, hunger. In return, the Terrax learned about Earth's arts, music, and philosophy. Most surprising of all, many Terrax warriors requested training in martial arts. They were fascinated by fighting styles that used minimal force to create maximum effect. The first Terrax embassy on Earth was built near Master Kim's mountain temple, with special areas for training. Commander Vex himself became a student of Master Kim. The alien leader found that Shaolin teachings improved not just his fighting skills but also his leadership. The Terrax, who had only known conquest, began to explore cooperation and harmony. One evening, as Master Kim and Vex sat drinking tea after training, the Terrax commander asked a question. "If we had attacked with our full fleet instead of offering the combat trial, what would have happened?" Master Kim considered this. Many would have died on both sides. In the end, you might have conquered our cities, but never our spirit. Humans fight hardest when pushed to the edge. Then I am grateful for our ancient traditions, Vex said. They led us to a better outcome. 6 months after first contact, Master Kim resumed his quiet life at the mountain temple. Though often invited to global events and celebrations, he preferred solitude and teaching. His students now included humans and Terax alike. President Choi visited one afternoon, climbing the steep path to the temple despite his security team's objections. He found Master Kim tending the small garden outside. The world wanted to give you medals, money, power, Choi said, yet you returned to this simple life. Why? Master Kim smiled. Because this is who I am. The rest was just a moment when my path crossed with larger events. He gestured to the young Terax and human students practicing forms together in the courtyard. This is the real victory. Not that I defeated them, but that we now learn from each other. From orbit, Earth looked much the same as it had when the Terax first arrived. The blue planet still turned slowly, its oceans and continents unchanged. But something fundamental had shifted. Earth was no longer alone, no longer isolated in the vast universe. And it had earned its place among the stars not through superior technology or weapons, but through the wisdom of an old man who understood that true strength comes from within, a lesson the galaxy itself was now beginning to learn. As for Master Kim, he continued his daily meditation as he had for 50 years. But now sometimes when he opened his eyes, he would look up at the stars with new understanding. The universe was vast beyond imagination, filled with countless forms of life. Yet the greatest journey remained the one within, the path to harmony, that begins with a single breath and continues with each moment fully lived. The strongest weapon, he told his students, is not technology but understanding. Today's enemy can be tomorrow's student, if we remember that true strength lies in harmony, not dominance. Above the temple, the stars shone differently now. No longer distant and unreachable, but connected by new paths of respect and learning. Earth had found its place in the galaxy not through force, but through wisdom. And that was a victory worth more than any conquest.